You know, we have a lot of video game heroes that have survived for years amongst many generations, getting updates and revamps from rather, should I say, interesting changes to all-out little change at all. We strive for the familiar. They're creatively safe, turning to the characters we know and love since our childhood that later generations may also enjoy because of their familiarity. But every once in a while, we get a new star, a small risk amongst the popular, to give us someone new to root for, a new electronic hero.
Why yes, chivalry is not dead.
Shovel Knight, the latest downloadable game cooked up about a year ago by indie developer Yacht Games, and funded by Kickstarter, is a platforming action game built in a classic 8-bit style environment. Armed with only a shovel, you must challenge a land filled with dangerous traps and other villainous knights. It's pretty inventive, honestly, though I do imagine a rather mundane explanation of this guy's origins. So, what is this strange place?
Who are you?
Aha! Fair wizard! I have travelled great distances, and have seeketh many strange and wondrous lands, and yet, without a weapon, my path hath led me here, your cavern of mystical oddities and relics. Please, fair wizard, can thou grant me a magical tool to fight off mine foes?
You're serious? Well, you can have this, I suppose. Oh, you're a loon. Well, I mean to say, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Ha ha! A weapon fit for a knight! I thank thee, wizard, for your generosity will not go unnoticed! Onward to adventure!
Oh, thank God. Now I can die of the plague in peace.
The story starts with a young Shovel Knight and his partner and, possible love interest? Shield Knight, basking in the glory of adventuring and wealth. Whilst battling the forces of evil, Shield Knight was lost in the midst of battle.
When I once was a lad, I had lost my true love fair. But there are no cats in America.
After such a loss, Shovel Knight went into solitude, until one day the lands were attacked by an evil force. The Enchantress and her legion of knights struck terror amongst the lands, forcing the heroic-hearted knight to pick up his shovel again and make right what was wronged. I wish I could go back to the days of the original funding campaign so I could grab a chance at the physical copy, because Shovel Knight truly feels like a classic that belongs on the shelf with all the other NES boxes I have. But I say that not just because of its outdated graphics and sounds, but it has that sensibility of what makes a truly inventive and memorable game. The characters themselves are pretty creative, as there is a vast array of them both in the enemy territory and non-playable varieties, and given their themes, could add possibilities of an expanding universe in the future.
I've even taken it upon myself to make my own Shovel Knight fan creations, such as, Lamp Knight and, Sword Knight. You see, the possibilities are endless. Original character, do not steal.
With that said, playing the game is pretty simplistic, but there is a lot to do. What really makes it stand out to me is the amount of ways you can decide to defeat and fight enemies. Strategies are pretty open to interpretation, as you have a few basic moves and can gain more powers along the way. You have a very short-ranged attack, but you can also use it to hit back projectiles. You can jump and attack from above, a la DuckTales. And there are a vast array of relics that you can use to fend off foes using magical energy. I can't compare this game to anything, to be honest, though the influences are pretty obvious. It's clearly inspired by many classic Capcom titles, but that doesn't deter it at all, as it shows it works on its own and meets and exceeds expectations. I can't tell you how many times I felt like this game could have been predictable, but then threw me in for a loop.
If Nintendo Power was still around, this is the kind of game I would love to see featured in it. It's a shame it's been taken over by digital media.
Stages are set up via a map where you can choose your stages and continue as you wish, but at the same time still focuses on a little bit of linearity. It works because as you continue, there's a strong difficulty curve the more you progress. The first couple of stages, I felt the ease of getting used to the gameplay, and further I went, the more I felt those skills coming to greater use. And like most very well-made classic titles, the game has its fair share of difficult leaps and bounds, from frustrating puzzle platforming to all-out teeth clenchers, and that's really what gets you going in a game like this. You enjoy that challenge because you know it's possible in some way.
There are even little side quests and additions that make the game more interesting, giving off extra bosses and challenges that require certain abilities you find along the way. Well, the music's pretty good too.
In fact, you can go download the soundtrack by Jake Kaufman and Minami Natsume right now. There's even an arranged soundtrack, which is a great bonus alone. But moving on, what makes it even greater is the fact that you can choose to make yourself stronger if you wanted. There are optional armor upgrades and power-ups you can choose to purchase to make the game easier or different. There are several ways to play. That, and given the lengthy amount of gameplay and challenge, make it worth the wait in my opinion. The game is featured on Wii U, the 3DS, and Steam, and it's a perfect title for the Nintendo platforms, considering the second screen offers you the ability to choose powers without having to pause the game. But that's a personal preference. I say you should definitely give it a chance. If you're into something a little different compared to most games featured in today's mediums, Shovel Knight is a tremendous achievement in amongst the list of memorable characters in gaming history. And I salute Yacht Games for bringing the creation to light, thanks to the help of several people who wanted to see such a game brought to their consoles.
I really don't want to spoil too much, as there's a lot of the game to cover, but I feel it's best to experience the game for yourselves and get that classic feeling of playing a game to its fullest. Until next time, stayeth excellent, my friends. To the potted plants of the Garden of Adventure! It's me, Sonic the Hedgehog! It's me, Andrew the Dickman, and I'm gonna be at San Diego Comic-Con 2014 in San Diego! Comic-Con.
That's right, Electronic Heroes is at SDCC 2014 from July 24th through the 27th. Daggy and I will be at the West Havenbrook booth 1632, where we'll be selling prints, posters, and pins of our artwork, as well as our first sketchbook with 52 pages of artwork. By us! Want a unique drawing on a limited edition sketch card? Booth 1632. Want this awesome poster of Mega Man and or China Awesome X? Booth 1632. Want to point and laugh at me? Go somewhere else and see someone dressed up like Iron Man or something.
I'd buy that for the price that I'm selling it for. So come on down. I look forward to meeting you at San Diego Comic-Con, booth 1632. At San Diego Comic-Con, July...